Hi there, Sagittarius. Thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for February. The month begins with the Sun in the Quicksilver part of your scope, which is very much to do with how you think and how you accumulate ideas. And it's the sector of everyday communication. It's also linked very much to technology and mental challenges. But on the very first day of this month, the Sun is challenged by the Moon, which is in the sign of Scorpio. It's possible that there could be some gossip doing the rounds, and someone that you encounter in the first week of this month may not be quite as sincere as you might hope. In fact, that lack of sincerity may be something you need to watch out for the first half of this month, because on the 8th there is also a new moon. This new moon would ordinarily set a platform for you to sparkle when it comes to your interactions with others. It can still do so, but because of the role of Mars, which is locked away in a very psychological part of your scope, that can be churning up a lot of old data within you, a lot of emotional data. And if there are some issues that you're working through, surprisingly, that are coming up from the depths, just be cautious about who you share things with. Someone who may seem like totally reliable and trustworthy may seize on a morsel of your insecurity or vulnerabilities and seize on it with relish to share with other people. So you need to choose your confidence very wisely as this month begins. But there is also a very intense and powerful link between Mercury, Venus and Pluto at the very start of this month. Venus and Pluto go on to be in a close alliance for the first 10 days. This can stir up lustiness as well. Now, when I say lust, I don't just mean of the sensual nature as far as intimacy is concerned. I mean in terms of the things you yearn for, that you really enjoy. So, if there is an item that you've been wanting to get for yourself, your resistance can fall to an all-time low as this month begins. But also, you can turn on the charm if you need to involve anyone else in getting what you're hankering for. And here's the rub. Because when Venus and Pluto are side by side, it can lead to some machinations which are not always of the best kind. So if you encounter someone who seems to be full of charm, promising you some kind of financial opportunity, be very wary of what their motives are. But equally, if you're trying to get your way around something, just see the games that you might be tempted to play as well. Now, we all at times get caught up in being diplomatic with someone we might find tricky in order to get them to cooperate with us a bit more. I'm talking kind of like that stuff, but maybe a bit more, because the compulsion that Venus and Pluto join together can create is really quite incredible. If you're in a relationship, the more sexual side of the relationship can definitely be discussed. If it's an area which is very positive between you and your partner, it can be even more so. If intimacy is a real block, it could be an area that you find yourselves quarrelling about, because you don't necessarily find intimacy easy, in the sense that you have a natural default around independence. And with Uranus in a right angle to Mercury initially, and also Venus and Uranus for those first 10 days, if there is a situation where it just feels it's all getting too clinging and demanding, you may decide to press the button marked exit and make your escape. It just depends on your unique situation. However, if you're trying to make progress in a more professional environment, Jupiter is also hugely influential this month. It's your ruling planet. Yes, it's in detriment in Virgo, and yes, it is tracking backwards. And we've seen that the financial markets in the world have pretty well dipped down since Jupiter slammed on the brakes on the 8th of January. However, you have an opportunity this month to actually build your resources up, but you need to go about things in the right kind of way. And that may mean tuning into old skills and talents, using your instincts or past connections, but also making astute moves. And because Jupiter and Mars, when they get together, can almost see us feel that nothing is impossible. And that's a bit of your personality anyway. But if you turn that on in the wrong situation, you may end up gambling on something that actually could have some disastrous outcomes. So use your resources very carefully, and your enthusiasms, apply them in the right kind of way, and you can handle all this mixture of energies that's swirling around. On the 8th, however, once more there is an influence on the sign of Aquarius, where this everyday and very switched on energy is buzzing around. But the new moon squares with Mars, hidden away in that psychological area. Perhaps you're going to surprise yourself by some of the memories that do come up and you do speak about. You're someone who, when you has difficult situations, very often just wants to push them to one side, dust yourself down and go on to the next exciting adventure. That's the kind of personality you have. But this can lead to a residual amount of emotional debris building up. And this is your opportunity, with Mars moving through this area and connecting with the Sun in your 3rd solar house, to think about and talk about with the right people, so you can perhaps clear out some of the things that are hanging around in the depths. But Mercury moves into Aquarius too on the 13th. And this can really spark your interest in competitions, crosswords and puzzles, and anything which really tests your mental capabilities. The move of Venus on the 16th is much more to do with your charm power. Breaking away from Pluto, it's now freer, but it also can see someone hanging on your every word in the weeks to come. It's not just what you say, Sagittarius, it's the way you say it. And someone could find your voice, or even if you enjoy performance, absolutely captivating. The Sun, however, paradoxically moves into a quieter, more reflective area on the 19th in the sign of Pisces. This suggests that you may just want to catch your breath and pause, but it then connects with Neptune. Now, if you remember, just before Christmas, Neptune was clashing with Saturn and really leaving you quite shattered at times. There is the potential for your emotional energy to be more to the fore, but also a sense of confusion or uncertainty. And you may just need to let things flow and not make any big decisions as February comes to a close, particularly on the back of the full moon on the 23rd, when balancing your emotional and worldly needs is the trick. But also, Jupiter, your ruler, is forging a highly positive link with Pluto as February closes. So even if you do find yourself thinking things over, there could still be an amazing breakthrough as far as your worldly presence, impact, status or earning power is concerned. But the crucial thing with Pluto, and it's threaded all through this month, you mustn't do things that are purely for your selfish end, because if you do go down that route, it could lead to some kind of impact on your personal reputation, which will not be positive going forwards. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.